Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Power just coming back on for some customers in downtown Appleton following an outage that happened around 9:30 this morning.
That outage forced City Hall and a number of businesses to close today. Jason Zimmerman's been speaking to those impacted by the outage. He's live in Appleton with the very latest. Jason.
Bill, just a short time ago, We Energies was able to confirm that the cause of this outage was a damaged underground cable. At one point, it affected about 244 customers, stretching from just east of the Fox Cities Performing Arts Center all the way down to Morrison Street. For people passing through downtown Appleton, there was a bit of confusion Wednesday as stores and businesses put up signs telling customers they couldn't open because of an ongoing power outage. This included the legendary Cookies and Creamery shop.
So power went off at like 9:30 this morning. So for us being an ice cream shop, kind of important. So keeping everything as frozen as possible. Had to bring some of our product off site to make sure that everything stayed frozen and we didn't lose any of our product.
It wasn't just businesses closing. Appleton City Hall shut down at 11:30 as a result. Traffic was also disrupted as signals went blank and stop signs came out.
I'm kind of impressed with the public service ability to just like how swift they were to take action, kind of like getting all those stop signs up. It was nice to see that everyone's also just like doing well with it all. You're not seeing anything rough, no one's confused, it's just going very smoothly. So it's enjoyable to see.
Others who live downtown, like Jen Berger, also lost power.
Ended up going out and having lunch and having an afternoon coffee and just looking to see what's open. And the latest word I heard is about 3 o'clock, so I'm just trying to kill the next hour or so.
Again, power downtown was restored about 45 minutes ago, and as I look around, I'm just starting to see some of the businesses that were closed start to reopen. Reporting live in Appleton, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.